Hello, my friends. So, today we are sharing a story where we had some difficulty and somebody came and helped us. So, I'll share one of such story that happened with me. So, it was long back when I was almost a kid, means I was not very much into the outside world, and I was a student, and my exposure to travel was not that much. I didn't travel that much at that point of time. And railways, since we are from the hills, so we don't know railways, we don't have any connection. If you are not into travel, so your only way of traveling to your place or to the hills, to Uttarakhand, is by taking a bus. So we had no idea about the trains. And then someday one of my brother who lives in the hills, and he said, Vipin, can you book a ticket for me to Guwahati, because he used to work in Guwahati. And since as I mentioned, I was not, means it was my first time going to a railway station, and at that point of time there was no such facility like booking an online ticket, or so you had to go to the railway station, make a slip or a form, you had to fill a form, and then you had to get the ticket. So this was the procedure. So I had no idea. So, and he wanted me to maybe book a third AC or second AC or some such class. So I had heard that the ticket fare in the railways was not that much, and maybe I had traveled, but I had maybe traveled in the general classes, not means the sleeper class. Basically, I had not traveled in AC classes by then. Maybe yeah, means I had not traveled, that's for sure. So when I went there, it was a long queue, so I had to be in the queue, and I was, since I had gone to the railway station for the first time, I learned how to fill that form. I did all those things, and then I was in a queue. It was a long queue, and as soon as, and I was a bit nervous also, because it was, when you do something for the first time, it is so obvious to be nervous. It is okay to be nervous. So I was also nervous. I had that excitement also. So when I reached at the window, and I gave the form to that the person, the staff there. So he made a ticket, he gave me a ticket, and he asked me, okay, give me this much thousand rupees. So I was like, what? So he said, okay, give me, let's say, 5,000 rupees or something. So I said, what? So he said, you have to give us this much rupee. I said, I thought it would only cost this much, like 200 rupees, 300 rupees, a very little amount I thought, and I carried only this much amount. I hardly, I believe I carried less than 500 rupees, and I thought it will be more than enough to get somebody to Guwahati from Delhi. So and he had already made the ticket on my brother's name, and I was like, I was literally crying, means I was although not crying, but I was so hopeless and I was nervous, and as I mentioned, this was my first experience. So I was like shivering, and I didn't know what to do, because I thought I would be jailed, because as I mentioned, I was a kid. So I thought, means all these thoughts started coming in my mind. But then something happened, I don't know how come, but a gentleman, he came to me and he said, okay, what's the problem? So I told him that I don't have enough money, and this is what he says, and he says that I need to pay the money. And as a kid, means I didn't have any phone, I couldn't call up home or ask somebody to come. So then this person, I still remember, he lives at Karol Bagh. I don't know, I don't have any connection with him. So he came to me, he said, okay, so your problem is that you need money for the ticket. I said, yeah, this is my problem, because otherwise I had all these fears in my mind that he would do something bad to me. So this person said, okay, all right, I give you the money. So he gave me whatever amount was required. It was more than I had, like, I don't know, maybe 2-3,000 rupees. I still don't know what's the AC fare for Guwahati, but he gave me that money, which was a big amount at that time. It means maybe 15-20 years back, or maybe even before that. So it was a big amount, and he gave me that amount. He said, okay. So I said, okay. So I with whole my willingness, I said, okay sir, I'll return your money, I'll give me your address, all those things. So he said, oh, don't worry about that, I believe on you, I trust on you, you will return that money. So I was so surprised that how come somebody can come jump in to help you. And he maybe saw my face, he thought maybe I am in trouble, and I was, as I mentioned, I was shivering, and I was feeling so nervous, and he came to rescue me. And he did not ask me any question, he did not ask me where do you live, etc. I asked him for his address, he said, okay, when come at this particular place and just maybe give me a call or something like that, maybe some sort of. So I was out of this situation. Came back home, I told the story to the family, they did not believe. And the next day with the money, I went to that person, I went to Karol Bagh, I still remember, I went to Karol Bagh to meet that person. Maybe I called from some PCO, if you understand. There used to be these booths. So I called him up and I gave him the money. I thanked him a lot because he helped me so much to get out of that embarrassing and very frightful situation, which otherwise is not very frightful. Nowadays we have all sorts of ways to get money, but that point of time it was not so easy. And this was the incident that happened with me, and this really strengthened my belief in the humanity, that there are people who are ready to help you out if you have trouble. So and you should never hesitate to ask for help. If you think that you need help, ask for it. Although I did not ask, he was a gentleman, he he made out that I was in trouble, and he came to me, he approached me, and then he helped me out. So this really strengthened my belief that good people are always around you. Means it's just that if you are genuine, if you are honest, so people are ready to help you out. So this was my story. Do share your story also. Thank you so much for listening.